The Galactic Culinary Institute's lecture hall fell into an uncomfortable silence as Instructor Jather dimmed the lights. His 6 compound eyes gleamed with what the human students had learned to recognize as concern. The insectoid professor's mandibles clicked nervously as he addressed the diverse classroom of 73 students representing 42 species. Today's module covers a delicate subject, Jather announced, his translator rendering his chittering speech into standard galactic. We will discuss carnivore feeding behavior. I must warn our more sensitive students that the footage may be disturbing. Ava Martinez sat in the 3rd row, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic display above the instructor's podium. Beside her, Oliver Chun scrolled through his datapad, already reviewing the supplementary materials. They were the only 2 humans in the advanced Xena program. Having arrived at the Institute 6 standard months ago, the hologram flickered to life, showing a creature that resembled a 6-legged feline from the Draxis system. The predator stalked through bioluminescent undergrowth, its movements fluid and deadly. When it struck, several students gasped. The Valorian in the front row covered their eye stalks. A Pluther student's skin shifted to a distressed shade of pale yellow. As you can see, Jather continued, the Draxian huntclaw consumes its prey raw. This is considered extremely primitive behavior among civilized species. Most spacefaring races abandoned such practices millennia ago, once we achieved sufficient technology to properly process our nutrition. Oliver leaned toward Eva, whispering, "Is he serious right now?" Ava's lips curved into a slight smile. She raised her hand. "Yes, Student Martinez?" Jather acknowledged her, his antennae twitching with curiosity. "Instructor, I have a question about the classification of primitive feeding behaviors," Eva said, her voice calm and professional. "What's the Institute's position on sushi?" The classroom stirred with confused murmurs. Jather's translator took a moment to process the unfamiliar term, accessing the galactic database. Sushi, the instructor repeated slowly, his mandibles spreading in what might have been confusion. Raw fish consumption? Surely this is a historical practice from Earth's pre-contact era? Actually, no, Oliver interjected, unable to contain himself any longer. He stood, pulling up images on his datapad and transmitting them to the main holodisplay. Sushi is a refined culinary art that's been practiced for centuries and is still extremely popular. But that's just the beginning. The hologram now showed an elegant presentation of nigiri, the pristine slices of raw fish gleaming atop perfectly formed rice. The class watched in stunned silence. Eva stood as well, warming to the subject. Instructor Jather, humans don't just eat prey animals raw. We eat predators raw too. In fact, some of our most prized delicacies involve consuming apex predators from our own world. Impossible, breathed a Krillian student from the back row. Predator meat is toxic when uncooked. The enzymes, the bacteria, to most species perhaps, Oliver said, bringing up more images. Humans have extremely robust digestive systems. Our stomach acid has a pH level between 1.5 and 3.5, strong enough to break down most organic matter and kill the majority of pathogens. Eva continued the impromptu presentation. Let me give you some examples. Steak tartare raw ground beef from earth cattle. Carpaccio paper-thin slices of raw beef or fish. Ceviche raw fish cooked only by citric acid. Oysters consumed alive and raw. And then there's my personal favorite. She pulled up an image that made half the classroom recoil. Fugu, the pufferfish, one of Earth's most poisonous creatures. Humans specially trained for years to prepare it as sashimi. One wrong cut and the tetrodotoxin can kill the diner, but we consider it a delicacy worth the risk. Jather's translator emitted a sound that might have been a sputter. You consume poisonous predators? Voluntarily? For pleasure? We're humans, Oliver said with a shrug. We're Deathworlders. Earth didn't just have one dominant predator. It had thousands. We competed with all of them, and eventually we started eating them. Raw, cooked, fermented, you name it. A Morphean student, their gelatinous form quivering, raised a tentacle. But why would you eat something raw when you have the technology to sterilize and process it safely? Ava and Oliver exchanged glances, and Eva answered, because it tastes better. Because it's tradition. Because the texture and flavor of properly prepared raw food is something unique that cooking can't replicate. And honestly, because we can. Oliver brought up another series of images. Humans have been eating raw meat since before we even evolved into Homo sapiens. Our ancestors scavenged kills from predators, eating the marrow and organs raw. We developed the ability to process these foods safely through millions of years of evolution. But you're also omnivores, Jother protested weakly. Surely you don't. Oh, we eat plenty of plants too, Eva interrupted cheerfully. Some of those raw as well. Many of Earth's vegetables evolved defensive toxins to prevent being eaten. We just learned to like the taste. Capsaicin, for instance, the chemical that makes peppers hot. It literally causes pain. Most species avoid it. Humans cultivated peppers specifically to make them more painful to eat. The classroom had descended into chaos. Students were chittering, buzzing, and translating furiously among themselves. A Zenthari student looked genuinely ill, their crystalline structure flickering with distressed colors. Jother raised his forelimbs for silence. Students Martinez and Chun, while your presentation has been unexpectedly informative, I must say this behavior seems unnecessarily dangerous. What possible advantage does eating raw predator meat provide? Oliver smiled. Beyond the culinary experience? It's a reminder, instructor. Humans didn't reach the top of Earth's food chain by being cautious. We're persistence hunters, tool users, and adaptable omnivores. We can eat almost anything, survive almost anywhere, and return the act of eating into an art form that spans from the safest cooked meals to the most dangerous raw preparations. Eva nodded. Every meal is a choice. We choose to honor our food, to experience it in ways that connect us to millions of years of human history. When I eat sashimi, I'm participating in a tradition that spans centuries. When we eat raw, we're acknowledging that humans are predators too. Jother was silent for a long moment, his antennae drooping slightly. Finally, he spoke. I believe I need to revise my lecture notes. Class dismissed early today. Students Martinez and Chun, please see me after I have many questions. As the other students filed out, whispering and gesturing excitedly, Oliver turned to Eva with a grin. Think we scared them? Probably, Eva replied. But maybe now they'll understand. Humans didn't survive Earth by playing it safe. We thrived because we were willing to take risks, even with our food. Instructor Jother approached them, his compound eyes studying the two humans with newfound respect and perhaps a hint of apprehension. Your species continues to surprise me. Tell me, is there anything humans won't eat? Ava and Oliver exchanged another look, both thinking of surströmming, kasu marzu, and century eggs. Instructor, Eva said diplomatically, that's a much longer conversation. One that might require several classes. Jother's mandibles clicked in what they'd learned was his version of a sigh. Humanity, indeed. I'm beginning to understand why your planet is classified as a death world. You don't just survive it, you eat it, raw. Oliver laughed. Now you're getting it, instructor. Now you're getting it.